Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Gulfstream today. Ron Nicoletti, along with Brian Nato, Samantha on assignment this afternoon. So you'll have to deal with us throughout the afternoon. Beautiful day here in South Florida. Fast main track, firm turf course, all weather to Peter. Lots going on. Big carryover in the Rainbow Six today, or estimate.
Yeah, they bet hard yesterday on that Rainbow. Now, if you're kind of not in the loop, next Sunday, April 13th, is going to be a mandatory day. But today, and Ronnie's got the ticket a little bit later on, 450, Ronnie, in the estimate jackpot. I think they got 468 yesterday, so it's probably going to be comfortably a $500,000 today. Thank you guys upstairs. There it is, right there. And there it is there, 324.
Wow, carryover. Yeah, 450 this afternoon, and we got a great day to play in. We got a 9-race card, so as Brian said, it's going to start in race number 4. But we got action that starts right now with our first race, and it's a 5.5 furlong sprint on the all-weather to Peter. And these are maiden fillies, 3-year-olds, and upward. We're going to scratch the 6. Our wins aren't luck. And please note the jockey, Micah Husbands, is now a 5-pound apprentice, so we'll be changing his weights over the next couple of days to that weight now. For City Minute is 120 pounds. Take it away, Brian.
Yep, that means he's doing some good work. That is to be sure. Let's take a look at this early pick 5. Difficult sequence. This is about as top I'm going to go right here. Race number 2, you can see the single. It's my best bet of the day, and that's Alistair. Race number 3 will go 2 deep. I'm on the inside with the 1 Skull Honor. Race number 4, 3 deep in that spot there with the 6 to Monarch on top. And in race number 5, that is the spread, and that is my long shot, and that's one of the reasons why I'm going to play a bigger ticket, because my long shot, the 1 Gervin Star, is 15-1 on the morning line, Ron, and I don't think she's out of the realm of possibility in this race.
Trained by former jockey Eduardo Nunes. And getting back to this first race this afternoon, Brian, interesting to see how you set it up. Did you go with the fun? No, you went with the number 7, Mario's Sweet Girl, 6-1 on the morning line for Steve Boudou.
Well, I think we need to watch the tote board here. The fact that Steve is going to reach out. He's got, Jose Morelos here. I like that work on the 19th, on February 19th. This is a homebred first foal out of a 2 for 17 dam. Took 10 starts to break the maiden, but that work kind of says to me, we got a little zip here. 5-year-old mare. They've got plenty of activity in her. Check the tote board here, sitting up there right now at 10-1 with a 4-1 out. You'd want to see this horse taking a little bit of money.
I went with this 5 City Minute, the one I was mentioning with apprentice Micah Husbands on it. Just think this horse off that last performance. I'll be back at Delaware, coming off the bench for Safi Joseph Jr. Might be a good spot for this horse.
I couldn't agree more, Ron. This is horse going to be tough. This is a horse to beat, a dropper, but Safi's 30% off this elongated kind of layoff. I say dropper because those are open maiden special weights at Del Park. Got to answer the Tapeta question, but this horse is a very dangerous newcomer.
And what'd you see with the inside, the Majesty's Song?
Well, we're going to drop back to a sprint. I think that's significant because it doesn't look like she wants to route. By McLean's Music, that's kind of a sprint pedigree. And the Tapeta debut back in late November when, kind of the championship meet just got going. That was a pretty good effort. Entrepreneurship, who didn't turn out to be much, was pretty good on that day.
Yeah, I have that horse highly rated on my ticket for all the reasons you mentioned. That's the early pick 5. We'll go to race number 2. We got lots going on here in this turf race. 1 mile on the firm course. It's claimers of 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 3 races. Interesting. That's the first time I've seen that condition this so far this year.
Yeah.
Sam's got a pick 4, and she's also got a tropical turf pick 3. So let's take a look at it. We'll start with the pick 4 and then roll right into the tropical turf pick 3. See what she's got to offer this afternoon.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it now. We can. This is mine. This is just a run back here. The spread is at the end, and that's why I said I want to spread later, Ron, because of that 15-1 in race 5. But here's a TT pick 3 as well, and it's a $3 minimum. 15% takeout. You can see she's going 3 deep here, and in race number 9 to end it. Pretty difficult race to end the card today, and I think a lot of people are going to be spreading in the Rainbow, but she's got the 2 logicals, Quizler and Dual Income, the 2 favorites, at least in terms of the morning line.
Yeah, I got my long shot near Frilo Lento in there for a 10
That was my long shot last time.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, I must have subconsciously had that in my mind. Getting to this race, you and Samantha, like Jerry's turn.
Yeah.
Well, you like Jerry's turn.
I like, no, Alistair.
Alistair, excuse me.
Alistair. Best
Alistair,
bet of the
that's
day
it.
here, yeah. This horse gave up a length lead at Tampa last time. Say that real quick. But now today, and I don't want to disrespect Jose Ferrer at all. What a phenomenal career he's had. Now we get Paco today. And Paco's one of the best finishing jockeys out there. I would think Paco's holding a 3.5 length lead like last time. And Alistair's got the speed to be involved throughout. And I think this is a good group to come across the straight and try again, because the last time Alistair was here, he was in for a quarter and a starter allowance. That's not his jam, but he's going to find some friends today.
I went with the 6. I like the 6 in this spot. Made him my long shot, a little bit of a long shot today, 5-1 on the morning line. Broke his maiden going a mile on the grass, goes back to the turf. Pair of sprint outings on the Torpedo. Christoph, come on. He's really good with horses stretching out in distance, 25%. Jorge Ruiz atop this son of Dominus. So I just thought this horse can run well in this particular spot.
You know, Ron, too, the other thing is he's got to win at this distance. I know he's been all sprint of late, but he has run well routing in the past. We'll see what we get today. Back on turf for the first time since that long layoff ended.
The number 7, Breakwater, that we both have interest in, is going back to the turf. He responded to both that first race after the claim in the drop in competition last time out.
Yeah, he's going to get Edgar Zayas today as well. And I just wrapped up some replays the other day. And I can't say it enough. We saw it actually yesterday. Edgar Zayas rides this turf course better than anyone, and I'm firm in that. And that means anyone that's here, period. Yep. He's awesome on the grass.
Race number 3 this afternoon is going to be a 1-mile event on the fast lane track. These are maiden claimers, 3-year-olds. We got no scratches or jockey changes in this particular race. And Brian, you went the inside horse, and that is Skull Honor.
Yeah, we just got the old back exacta here reversed a little bit, and I'm on the inside with Skull Honor. He's a fresh new face, Ron. He's never tried the main track. He is certainly bred top and bottom for it. He brings that route foundation to the one-turn mile, and, I'll let you talk about easier said, but I think they're the 2 in here.
Yeah, easier said. It's easier said than done for this horse. We try and get it done. He responded to the drop-down. He was a distant second. This is it. What do you get today?
I don't know, Ron. You get an underlaid price. I know that, right? Because it's Todd Pletcher. You said it. He was beating a football field. The winner I didn't think he was all that great on Sunday when he came back. It's just tough. This horse, his claim to fame is running second, beating 11 lengths. That's not supposed to flatter anybody.
Yeah, it's just what's he facing today? That's the other question here. When you get a horse like the number 4, Bright Light Joe, drops to the 12 level after showing early interest fading, it's Brendan Walsh. Do you take a second look, or do you go with your 2 horse near Theo's Thunder?
Well, I got to believe Bright Lights Joe is going to run better today. I don't really know what that means by about 1:55 in the PM, because better might get him 4th, because he didn't run very good at all on debut, but I would expect a little bit of a better effort today. We got a stat actually on Brendan Walsh too. He's pretty good with second-time starters. We'll see what's going on here. Maiden claimers on the dirt. So you're going to get improvement out of this horse, but is it going to be enough?
Yeah, 21% is pretty good, 57% in the money. Edgar Zayas, as you mentioned, in the saddle this afternoon. So that's the 3rd race. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have my Rainbow Six, and as Brian mentioned at the top, they were estimating 450 large in that pool. So we'll be right back.
And they're off.
New DRF All Access Past Performances. With one best-in-class product, you now get all 3 past performance formats. Easily switch between views. Access the most trusted information in horse racing with DRF All Access Past Performances. Go to DRF.com and use coupon code 1FREEPP for a free single card today.
Welcome back to Gulfstream. Today, Ron and Brian here. Fourth race. I'm going to kick off the Rainbow 6. It's 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. It's a starter optional claimant for 3-year-olds. And we'll see how this one plays out to start the Rainbow 6. My ticket, $43.20. I had no singles in it today, so I had to be. We'll talk about this fourth race in a moment. Race number 5. I went 3 deep in there. My top pick is the number 5 horse in here, and that's Molly's a Bullet. We'll have a replay of that horse. Race number 6, boy, we had some scratches in there. It's only a 4-horse field. I just think 2 and 3 are the horses to beat in there. Once again, Gulfstream will have a video on that horse, or replay, I should say. Race number 7, 2 deep. Here's where I wish I could have gone a little deeper. I didn't use your missed start. I just used the 4 and the 3 in here, and that's Utarian and Simply Stated. Race number 8, my top pick is the 6, Emirates Affair. Going to be a short price, but I used the 7, Les Queen. And then last, as you mentioned, a wide open turf race. My top pick, that's my long shot, Friolento for there, but I also used the 2 horses. Samantha used the 3 and the 5.
I got to tell you what, I played Friolento last time.
Right.
He was my long shot. He did not run poorly in that spot against a better group than he's facing today.
Yeah, 10 to 1 in the morning. Let's see what we get there this afternoon. Getting back to this fourth race, did you start it off? What did you start it off with? Put it that way.
I went with the 6, Ronnie, and that is 2 Monarch. We're on the outside. It's Dave Fawkes.
Yeah.
Everything Dave gets his hands on, they're just running so well. He's going to take over for Eddie Keneally down from Turfway. Hey, the Turfway maiden races, those are good races up there. That was a big figure if you believe in it. I don't say I am or I don't, but that was a good race. I know he faces winners today, Ron, but this is the perfect post to face winners from.
I have this horse in second, not to downgrade that, but I haven't seen the Turfway horses throughout. No one's jumped at me this during the championship meet. They come from Turfway and have run here. Mike Maker's horses, they just run okay, and they come with pretty fancy speed figures.
I think that's a good point, actually, Ron, and it's a good point mentioning, too, because Turfway just closed the other day. So we're starting to see some horses down here, and Ronnie might be ahead of the curve in that. So it's something to think about as you start seeing their horses pop up into our races.
Yeah, and it's always good to keep a record of that. It just, in my mind, no horse jumps off the page that ran that well for me. But I did go with Torches past the 4s, dropping it to a winning spot today. After that 2-race win streak against ended, I thought he ran good with 4th place finishes against 75 optional claimers. This one, Nolan Ramsey, Miguel Vasquez, I think the drop is really going to help this horse today.
Yeah, let's show it, because Torch and Pass was 4th and Lazio was 3rd. They both ran very, very well. Torch's Pass has got a couple wins on the Tapeta here. You can see he's down on the inside. And he didn't necessarily have any trouble, but I think we can all agree that for the most part, when you're down inside on the Tapeta, it's not really going to be ideal. It's not going to work out well for you. He's going to tip out. He's going to end up being in the 5 path, is what I had him in my notes in the stretch here. But when you're mired on the inside, and here he's not checking, but he didn't necessarily have the clean run, whereas Lazio did. Neither of them made a big dent in here, but the winners were good, and this was a good race for this kind of group and this kind of level. These two are class dropping today. You can see when Torches Pass got off the inside, he had a little bit more renewed interest. These are the 2 horses I'm pretty confident are the ones to beat, Ron.
So we'll see how that race 4 plays out. Once again, 5.5 furlongs on the Tapeta. We're going to the turf for race number 5, and this one is a 5-furlong sprint for maiden fillies and mares, I should say. 3 and up, no scratches. Jockey changes in here. Is this Samantha's late pick 5?
We'll take a look at it. Yep, Samantha's got a late pick 5. It kicks off with a tough one. She's only going 2 deep. You can see her single in race 8. Let's take a look at the Emirates Affair. Yeah, I can't wait to see her run. What form has she had against State Breds, and now Kent Sweezy off the claim, and then she's got the 2 Logicals in the finale. That's $18 on a late pick 5.
Late pick 5 ticket kicking off here, rate number 5, and I started with 8, but I'm going to know what you. So you went to this Gervin Star.
So, okay, this is a horse that was 153 to 1 on the
this
turf.
is your long shot.
This is my long shot, and I don't know. I put this horse at 15. And the reason I put her at 15 was because her turf races, Ron, 2 back and 4 back, they're not bad. And they fit. This is not a great group, okay? Then they fit with this. Maybe she's going to be 51 to 1 again. I don't know. But she was beaten a length and a half. 2 starts back on the turf with a figure that puts her in the mix with this kind of group. I mean, Leonza's probably the horse to beat. She was not good at all in her comeback, albeit on the Tapeta.
Yeah, so we'll see that, and that's where I did go with Lions. But I went 3 deep in my rainbow ticket because I wasn't positive. This one showed promise sprinting on the grass last year. It goes back to the turf. Chased the pace. I thought finished that screw tightening fourth, going 5 on the Tapeta. I think that race is a perfect table setter for today's Gustavo Delgado. Doesn't start many horses, but they seem to always run okay. Edgar Perez in the saddle.
Yeah, I'm going to be willing to draw a line through that race. It just looked like she might have been a short horse and a horse that didn't like Tapeta. The turf form that she has is better than these, but we'll see if it comes back today. I think that's the question.
The number 5 Molly Sabilla does her best running in the latter stages of the race. I think what a replay we're going to show.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't pick her because I think you picked her last time and she scratched.
Yeah.
But here she is. Now, she doesn't have a running style that's going to work too well, turf sprinting, but you can see her checking back just a little bit there. She is going to unleash a furious late rally for Anthony Margata here at 31-1 in what was a maiden optional claimer. And in theory, yes, this is a tougher group today. In reality, no, it's not a tougher group today because, like I said, this isn't a great race. She's going to roll home here. She's going to be beaten ahead for all the money.
Yeah, New Jersey bred runs pretty good, and a lot of people see New Jersey bred and they don't bet it. But Anthony Margata was another guy who started a few horses at the championship meet, but they all ran well.
Yeah, without a doubt. We like Anthony. It was good to see him get a W the other day at a big number.
Yeah, it certainly was, because he told us that horse was going to win, and guess what? It won.
At 25-1.
Yeah. So, Anthony, if you're listening, thanks, buddy. Let's go to race number 6. It's a 6-furlong sprint. Claimers for 3-year-olds or 4-year-olds and up, which have never won 2 in life. I don't know what happened here, but scratch the 4, 5, and 6. It looks like you got your late pick 4. Did you go all in here, or did you just use the 2 and 3? Or
you know what I did, Ron? I added one more in here. Let's take a look at it. It's $12, and I went 3 deep in here. I scratch into my pick, race 7. I'm on the inside with Miss Tart, but I did add another horse just to get it a little up to 12. Eddie Plesa Jr. is doing so well. In race 8, you can see the single there. That's Emirates Affair. I'm not looking to beat her anymore. And in race 9, 4 deep. I've got the 2 favorites on top. 53 is the order, but I'll use the Valente Thorino Source River of Time. And also Esperanzito is interesting to me off of just a dominant win, albeit on Tapeta. We'll see what's going on today on the turf. $12, Ronnie, in that late 4.
Well, the number 2 Coldstream making a first start. His first start since beating those maidens way back for Sappy Joseph Jr. I think we have a replay we can show.
We do, and I was looking to try to beat this horse today, and unfortunately now this horse is literally going to be very likely odds on. I don't want to bash a horse too much that won by 2 3/4 lengths. But it's a pretty, we'll call it a workmanlike effort. He did have to run a little bit. You can see Mohawk River on the outside coming at him. He was 80 cents on the dollar. Mohawk River, who was in good form back then, made him work a little bit. You can see Edgard shake the reins a little bit, and that was kind of it. The race is over. It was a solid enough effort, but I think the question is, and you mentioned the layoff, where have you been, Coldstream? Because we run a lot of races for you over the winter.
Yeah, so we'll see how it runs. So you had some I'm interested in why you went with the number 7, Arrogancy.
Wow, Arrogancy, if nothing else, he finally won a race, and he had been absolutely teasing everybody. He was getting quite a reputation as a big-time refuser. 0 for 12 with 7 seconds and 2/3. Now, he had to go over to Tampa to wallop him. He got it done. He was kind of eased up late. This post is good for him, Ron, and just we'll draw a line through the Tapeta race. I think he plays in here, especially being outside now with in the 4-horse field.
A goofy handicapping angle I got is waiver claimers. You know what I mean? Practical back locally, shipped up to Tampa. Set the pace. A waiver claimer. This horse couldn't be claimed.
Right.
I think they have some interest in it. Jose D'Angelo, Miguel Vasquez, overseeing the homecoming today. It's just an angle I always give a second look to.
Yeah, I mean, Jose reclaimed this horse now, albeit back on March of last year. He had to bring him to Tampa. Maybe the race was just there. Jose's got a lot of horses over there at Tampa. I like the fact that he's back over here for more money in a tougher spot. And you're right, Ron. They didn't want to lose him that day to theoretically get to today.
Is that the case? We're
Yeah.
sort of guessing, but I think you could make a case that might be the question here. Race number 7 is a sprint on the Tapeta at 5.5 furlongs. Allowance optional claimer for fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upward. No scratches in this race. And I had this horse not rated highly like you do. So tell me why with Miss Tart.
Well, I'm going to show you why right here, and I'm going to show you her drilling 7 guys here. This is a filly, and she just absolutely drubbed a field of 7 other males, and it's a pretty good field too. You can see the heavy Louis the Sun King, awesome, winning yesterday.
Yeah, you won yesterday.
Yep, looked real good. And Mrs. Tart at 7-1, back on the Tapeta, sprinting on the Tapeta. She's now 2 for 3 at Gulfstream. This is a big time effort. Maybe she regresses, but boy, if Lionel Reyes can work out a trip, the rail could be a little dicey. I get that, but this is Irad's just kind of she's in hand here, and she rolls pretty darn good in a really fast race for the level. Take care of business. Was second behind Louis the Sun King yesterday. The race stacks up, and I can't stress it enough. That's a group of Colts and Geldings right there. She's thumping on.
Good angle there.
Yep.
And you saw the horse that was that nut job setting the pace, and then went quick 21. And boy, got a perfect setup in that race. Let's see if it can happen. I did go with the number 4 horse, our old buddy Uturian, who's stretching out to 5.5 after drifting in the stretch, still managing to finish third at this level. The winner of 2-3 sprints classes up perfectly in the spot, I think.
Yeah, I agree. That she seems to be getting back on the beam a little bit. She'll make her third start off a little bit of a freshening. That can be the key angle, and she's 2 for 3 over the Tapeta here.
Yeah, what'd you see with time passages?
Wow, she's got a lot of class to her, Ron. And Eddie Plesa Jr., your buddy there, has had a really great start to 2025, and all those stats now they've refreshed on the year. So Eddie is 7 for 21, and we know now all those races were the championship meet. That's big time. She's 8 for 10 in the exacta on the Tapeta. She's won stakes in the past. I don't know where her form is. She's in for 62.50 today, but that's a lot of money, so that really doesn't bother me either.
Yeah, we'll see how that runs. Paco Lopez, and then you got our old buddy in here, Trumpets. I'm going to say Trumpets is going to be on the lead.
Ronnie, Trumpets ran very well last time for Joe Catanese. She found her form a little bit. Trumpets can get brave. She's one of the fastest horses, at least early, on the Tapeta here on the grounds, and she found her speed again last time when Joe put the blinkers on.
She's won 3 or 5 races on the Tapeta. She's going to be going, like I said, Edgar Perez are going to dole out the speed this afternoon. Flipping the page and going to race number 8, 7 furlongs. And this one's an allowance optional claimer for state-bred fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and upwards. Scratched at 3. Captured Dove. Blinkers on the number 1 horse, Fontina, and that Micah Husbands make that weight now 115 pounds. Emirates Affair. We showed a video first.
Yeah, let's take a look at it because, wow, is she in form. Her races against Florida breds have just been awesome. And this is last time, and I don't know how she was 5-2, but we'll take it because this is a horse now. 2 starts in a row with Florida breds, and she's just been night and day better than everybody else. Kent Sweezy's going to dip in. Moscow Barn dangled her for 20 last time. I would have thought there was, I don't know this, but there had to be a huge shake on this horse. Kent's now the trainer. He's solid enough. Kent's 13% off the claim. That's not going to wow anybody, but Kent, the barn, has already won 16 races this year. He's been just prolific this year, and of late especially, and this is the old, if I can quote my partner here, the old jiggy jog in the park, because Paco's not asking her for anything. He's in third gear here. This is a horse that's in devastating form right now.
The horse that ran second in that race right there, you see it, Neom City. This one is hoping to show. Got to really turn it around this afternoon. But this barn, Tarek Mubarak, they've been on fire. I know that maybe they can do it this afternoon. I mean, I'm in total agree with you with the number 6 horse on top. I also used the 7. You used the 5, Gulfaxi.
Well, Gulfaxi's interesting getting back now to the main track. Now, her dominant win was over nothing 2 starts ago, but boy, she looked good doing it. The Tapeta didn't work out. She's back with some friends here. It'll be the first time on the main track at 1 turn for Carlos David, and he certainly seemed to find the success with her 2 starts back.
Let's look at the stat, too, on Emirates Affair with Kent Sweezy, because talking about a guy that had a great winter, you can see first off the claim winner last out, 8%.
That's very surprising. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that says take a little trepidation, but I'm just going to add the old asterisk and say that Kent There's no 8% in Kent's barn anymore.
Well, yeah.
What a year he's had so far.
And, Ellis Queen, that's the one to make the first start. So he finished second to Emirates Affair, but it was back in January. So this one's going to have to run to run well in there.
Well, yeah, excuse me, Ron. Here's the thing. The Emirates Affair has already drilled her two biggest rivals comfortably. So
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe that's that. Tutti Fanut. Ninth race. Mile on the turf. Starter optional claimers for 3-year-olds. And we're going to scratch the number 7 horse in there, Alino Forever. And you started it off with the number 5 horse in here, and that is Dual Income, was a late striding type.
Yeah, that's the only bugaboo for me, the late striding type, because Dual Income likes to leave himself with a lot to do. But to me, it's the old Edgard Zayas we trust, and I'd like to think Edgard is going to look at this form and say, I can be a little closer. I don't need to drop out the back like he's been doing, because that's why he's been running short of late. The horse that he ran against last time, Amdu, was in the stakes the other day on Curlin Florida Derby Day for Kent Sweezy. I like that race he's coming out of.
The number 2, I got my long shot in here, Friolento, cuts back to the mile, gets second time Lasix today. Now, if you look at this horse, he's showing steady progress since they took the blinkers off. Nick Palmer doesn't start a lot of horses, but he has a decent percentage in here. I just thought this horse with long shot rider Lionel Reyes can have a shot, and I just like the progression. They figuring this horse out race by race. Take the blinkers off, second time Lasix. Yep. What do we get today?
I played this horse last time. He ran very well. He sifted his way through the field to get 4th. Ronnie said something very, very important. It's day 2 of the Royal Palm meet. The IRADs is, they're all gone now. We get that. Lionel Reyes is at awesome long shot turf rider. He's going to bring prices home. He's got one here in a horse that, no, he's not the favorite in here, but he's not that far off the favorites either, and he's got some hope.
Well, the number 3, Quizler, we got a replay we could show for Kelly Breen's horse with Paco Lopez in the saddle today.
Ronnie had Quizler last time when he broke his maiden, albeit against Florida Breds. But this was a pretty darn good effort, and Paco was aboard for that. He's aboard for this one as well, the old kind of measured Paco ride here. You can see him sifting through horses here. He's going to tip them out, and he's going to get there in time. I think he probably had a little extra in the tank if needed, but this was a good effort by Quizler, and kudos to the Jersey Connections. Kelly Breen off the claim got it done last time, Ron.
And what do we do with the number 6 horse in here, River of Time, that you made 9-21? Billy Therinos, Miguel Vasquez in the saddle this afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, this is Billy and Roddy Valente off the claim, and Roddy texted me, and he made a good point that, this horse was fighting John Velasquez quite a bit 2 starts back, but he is the only 2-time winner in the field. That was the turf race 2 starts back. And I know he was fighting the Hall of Famer. I didn't think he ran that well, Ron. I think he's looking up at a few of these others. Yeah,
in the New York bred, I think the claim for this horse was for stuff that's going to happen up north, but you certainly got to give a second look. Love the work that Bill Therinos does. We'll see how it plays out with Miguel Vasquez in the saddle. So that's the 9 races for today, that in Brian and I's estimation. Now let's see what we got going on in the lightning round.
Take a look at it now, and if you haven't looked at Saturday's card, well, shame on you, first of all, but we've got a really good turf stakes tomorrow. The gang is all here in this turf stakes, and the gang is usually led by XY Speed, and Paco put on a clinic here with this ride. He got back on the beam, he took him from off the pace a little bit, and he was easily best in another kind of turf little stakes almost. You can see Yes I'm Free, he's back, he's a long shot tomorrow. Really good race. Iman, who won off the bench last time, I think in Reef Runner, they're all back tomorrow as well. I think XY Speed is, I think he's a 7-2 morning line favorite, so that kind of just shows you whoever's going to be favored, it's that kind of wide open race.
Well, he needed to run well in his last race because his form was a little wonky, coming at that, but he put it all together last time out. And Reef Runner is that one that stumbled badly at the start.
Reef Runner.
Going to be my long shot tomorrow, I believe. So, but that's tomorrow. And what else we got?
Well, we've got the TT Pick 3 is back. Samantha's got that ticket. It's in race number 2 today. The 3 turf races on the card. 15% takeout and a $3 minimum. 2, 5, and 9er. Today.
9, and also Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays, the coast to coast with our sister track. Santa Anita got their huge day there tomorrow, but we got one to tell you about today.
Yeah, it's Derby Day at our sister track tomorrow, and we'll see if journalism can back up that crazy fast win last time. But here's today's TT. Oh, I love this, Ron. Look at that. An hour and 4 minutes today. That's how it should be done. We love that. A 5-pack. Retail only, no computer-assisted wagering in that. $1 minimum, 15% takeout. And as our buddy upstairs, Pete likes to say, Overlay City.
Well, they better be on their beam because they both go at 4:32 Eastern Time. The second at San Diego and the 8th here. So one of them is going to be having to do a whirl around the gate there. We'll see how that plays. It's probably a typo, and I'm making fun of him. Your best bet today?
Best bet today for me is Alistair on the turf with Paco in race 2.
I really jumped up for a long shot today. I mean, best bet. Yeah, that's it. Best bet is Ortiz in race number 2.
All right. Long shot for me is coming where now? In race 1. That's in race 5 on the 1.
Oh,
Excuse me, Gervin Star.
Oh, yeah.
That's another one of the races in the TT Pick 3.
And my long shot today is in race number 9. It's the 2 Friolento, 10-1 on the morning line.
I like that 5-1 best bet. That's aggressive. I like that.
All right, that's it for us. We'll be back for the first race. Of course, going to turn it over to Pete Aiello, approaching $60,000 already in the early pick 5 pool. If you're just joining us, it's beautiful again in South Florida. Fast main track, firm turf course. Good luck, everybody.